Deliberations on Nnamdi Kanu's case is inexhaustible as I mirror down on the federal government's selective negotiation with violence. The continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has once again dominated national discourse after one of his lawyers openly declared that the IPOB leader's case has gone beyond a legal tussle. He argued that it is now a symbol of injustice and marginalization against the Igbo nations. His statement echoed the bigger truth that many people have whispered for years, that the handling of Kanu's case reveals not just a dispute between a man and the state, but a deeper wound in Nigeria's union, a wound constantly reopened through selective justice. The lawyer's outburst came at the last adjournment after the court insisted that Kanu is fit to stand trial and ordered that Kanu opens his defense on the 24th of October 2025. The lawyer alleged that samples were not collected and no medical examination was conducted on Kanu's health, but medical reports were concocted just to mandate him to open his defense. So I wonder how people will go to that extent. He also criticized the federal government's romance and negotiation with bandits and terror groups in other parts of the country, while defiling numerous court rulings to release Kanu. Let us listen to the lawyer in this video. And if you are just doing it, please share and subscribe to Newsrip. I'll be back.
Medical counsel through the prosecution. So they serve us this thing today. And if you watch there in this particular medical report, you can see all the ailments they say that Nnamdi Kanu is suffering from. And surprisingly, somebody that has this particular all these particular issues, you now in the last paragraph to say that from your own distance you can stand trial. Somebody that is passing through all this ailments. Having said that, too, go to make a consequential order. Say, please go and examine him and report back to me. They never examine Nnamdi Kanu, only for them to come up with this report. Nigerian Medical Council, they should be very careful because this is a professional body and you are expected to act professionally. In your report, you are expected, I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm a practicing lawyer. You are expected to show that on this particular day, we obtain his specimen. We carried out this lab and the lab showed this. We are talking about somebody's life, for goodness sake. You cannot just enter into your office room and you open your system and start writing trash. And you want court to rely on it. And surprisingly, we are expected to take a date for us to go. And because when the court gave us an opportunity to respond, we are ought to have taken a date to confirm from our clients. Yes, it was when Nnamdi Kanu said, what? We are the people that even gave Nnamdi Kanu this thing. When the court was about to sit, we are talking about somebody's life. Of course, as a matter of this thing, the Igbos are on trial. This is a war against the Igbos. Of course, you are here when the president ordered the police and the army to go and negotiate and have a discussion with the terrorists and the non-bandits in this town with their arms. And somebody that is exercising his rights as given to him by the constitution, both local and international legislations, and he said that he should enter trial. Trial for what? What is it? What are you trying for? Do you have even jurisdiction? Does the court have jurisdiction to entertain this particular matter? Somebody that has been discharged by court of appeal. So we don't want to go into that. This is a trial. Again, this is the Igbos are on trial. This is a persecution, not a prosecution. And I stand by it. And I'm calling the entire Nigerians. It's the Igbos and the Nnamdi Kanu today. It can be another person tomorrow, and we should stand against it. That's why we are protesting. Why should we be treating a human being like this? Simply because the offense Nnamdi Kanu committed is because he's an Igbo man. Can you do it somebody from the north? Can you do it somebody from the west? You cannot. People have been agitating. So boy has been going around agitating for Republic of Oduduwa. Have you arrested him? The answer is no. Because Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo and he feels that nobody can speak with him for him. And we are saying no to that. We can never be intimidated. Nobody is more Nigerian than anybody. Nobody is a second-class citizen in this country, and we are going to fight it. I'm begging judiciary not allow yourself to be used. They know what they are doing. Are you telling me that it was on the 13th? Court gave you 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you now produce the document on the 13th, and you kept it with you. You do not allow us to go and see our client with it, only for you to serve us 5 minutes before court is sitting, and you ask us to respond. Is this injustice or injustice, for goodness sake? We should call evil. And when you call evil, it will stop existing. That is our submission.
Why Kanu has remained behind bars for years without a political solution or any meaningful progress toward a negotiated resolution? Nigerians have repeatedly watched the same government enter back-channel dialogues with terrorists, bandit and violent extremist groups in other parts of the regions. Just for Kanu, where men who openly took up arms against the state are rehabilitated, pardoned, or reintegrated. Some are even escorted into negotiation rooms as stakeholders. But a political agitator from the southeast who did not kidnap or burn villages or massacre school children is refused the same window of dialogue. Isn't that something else? Let us watch some of the videos of those bandits, how it is.
What is happening in Nigeria? This is bandits arriving in their numbers for peace talk in Katsina State. People that have unalived Nigerians, killed soldiers, killed citizens of Nigeria. Look at notorious bandits carrying rifle, carrying AK-47, having a peace talk with the military, with the Katsina State government. Look at them with their guns. Look at them with their guns, and it's not a crime. In the northern part of the country, in the northern part of Nigeria, look at what is going on in the north, and people are not saying anything about it. Imagine, hell, I don't know who bring us come this side though. I don't know who bring us come here.
Ni a cikin wannan magana da zan yi akwai wasu ɗan tambayoyi da nake so da Allah ina son dan gabatar da su saboda kasancewar ne matsala ita ta tara mu. Wace matsala ta tara mu? Matsala kashe-kashe, ɗaukar dukiya, ga yanan dai ba sai an ce wani abu, kowa da ya san abin da ke. To sannan ni tambaya ta anan, din Najeriya duk inda ake magana ana magana bahilla ce dan ta'adda ne barawo, ai akan magana dai ake kin. To da Allah tambaya ta farko, a ware man kabilar da ba barayi a cikinta. Duk duniya a ware man ita, kabilar da ba barawo a cikinta a ware man ita. Ku Hausawan da kuke mana magana cewa yan ta'adda ne barayi ne, ba barayi a cikin ku. Akwai tari. Sannan ba a ɗauki kabilanci aka samu ku ba, Musa ya ka ɗauki kabilanci aka samu, ko ba gaskiya ba? To in ko ba a bar wannan hudodin ba na kashe-kashe da kabilancin da ake dora mana, to babu ranar da wannan abun zai kai ƙarshe tsakani da Allah. Dole sai an koma an ɗauki hanya ta gaskiya, an yi ma kowa adalci. Kai shugaba ka yi adalci, kai kuma na ƙasa ka yi biyayya, don babu yadda za a yi kai shugaba a yi ma biyayya ba kai ma na ƙasa da kai adalci ba, babu bayyo. Kai kuma na ƙasa bayyo a yi ma adalci ba kai biyayya ba, ko ba gaskiya ba? Sannan ina da wani misali ko kuma wata tambaya akan irin abin da mu in muka yi za a yada.
a ba hankali yawa ku shigo a shigo a ba hankali.
If bandits deserve negotiation, why not Kanu? What is so special about him? What is the difference? This is the moral question hanging over Abuja like a cloud. This is something I need to take off. Why does a state that finds compassion for confessed killers suddenly become uncompromising when it concerns Kanu? That is a question to answer. The hypocrisy is glaring. Don't you think so? Your own opinion too matters. Armed groups in the Northwest are granted amnesty and holding direct meetings with government emissaries. Jihadists, their defectors are rehabilitated and placed on welfare schemes. Militants in the Niger Delta were not only negotiated with, but they were placed on monthly stipends and sent abroad for training. So, why this injustice? So, what is it? What is so special about Kanu? Court rulings or orders for his release are ignored. International concerns about his health are brushed aside. His right to a fair trial is treated like an inconvenience rather than a constitutional guarantee. But in all of this, let it be known that the Southeast is watching and remembering. To millions of Igbos, this is no longer about IPOB as an organization. It is about respect, fairness, and equity. The message they are receiving is painful and clear. It is a message that the violence is treated as a negotiable offense in Nigeria, except when it comes to the Southeast. That is the perception. The federal government needs to be above board to dispel this dangerous perception for the peace of this country. Certainly, if it was only about law and order, then Nigeria would have applied the same principle they made to terrorists, killers, and warlords, but it hasn't. And the uneven treatment continues to feed a dangerous perception of exclusion. It is a perception that the Igbo question is not just unresolved, but deliberately sidelined. If it must be reiterated, that justice delayed is not just justice denied. It is a warning. Every day that Kanu remains in detention, despite political solutions elsewhere, the government reinforces the argument that unity in Nigeria is conditional, and not some, and that some regions are treated as expendable members of the federation. That is interpretation, and consequently, the government is consciously or unconsciously categorizing some parts of the country as second-class citizens. That would be the widest perception. No nation survives double standard forever. It's not possible. The longer Kanu's case drags on, the more it stops being a legal issue and becomes a referendum on whether all Nigerian citizens are genuinely equal before the law. Shouldn't the government be thinking about the pathway to de-escalation? I believe that should be the priority for now. Releasing Nnamdi Kanu through a political solution would not be a sign of weakness. It wouldn't. I fully trust that it will be an act of national healing. Dialogue has worked with militants and bandits. So to deny the same opportunity in this case is to openly fuel the suspicion of ethnic bias. If Nigeria can negotiate with those who picked up guns, surely it can sit at one table with a man whose weapon has been language, ideology, and agitation. At the heart of this matter lies a single truth, and that truth is that a country that chooses negotiation with violence but punishment with dissent is not seeking peace, but simply preserving imbalance. Until Kanu is given fair treatment that is equal to what others received, this case will continue to stand as a painful testament to selective justice and a reminder that the promise of one Nigeria is still unfinished work. Please drop your comment below and follow for more unbiased analysis.